You wouldn't believe the day I had. I mean, it started off like any other Saturday. Sunshine streaming through my window, the smell of fresh coffee wafting through the air, and the promise of a lazy weekend ahead. But then, as I scrolled through my social media feed, I stumbled upon something that turned my whole day upside down. Rainbow tomatoes. Yes, you heard me right. Rainbow tomatoes. I mean, who even knew such a thing existed? I thought tomatoes were red, maybe a little yellow if you were feeling adventurous. But rainbow? I was intrigued, to say the least. So naturally, I clicked on the link, and there it was. A whole article dedicated to these vibrant, multicolored tomatoes, bursting with flavor and personality. Apparently, they're all the rage in Berkeley, and I couldn't help but feel a twinge of jealousy. I mean, why do all the cool gardening trends happen in Berkeley? It's like they have some secret garden club that we don't know about, where they sit around sipping organic herbal tea and discussing the latest in heirloom vegetables. I could just picture it. A group of hipsters in flannel shirts, passionately debating the merits of purple versus green tomatoes, while I'm over here struggling to keep my basil alive. But I digress. The article went on to explain how these rainbow tomatoes are not just a feast for the eyes, but they're also incredibly easy to grow. They thrive in a variety of climates, and all you need is a little sunlight, some good soil, and a sprinkle of love. Love! I can do that. I mean, I've managed to keep a few houseplants alive, so how hard could it be? I felt a surge of determination wash over me. I was going to grow my own rainbow tomatoes, and I was going to do it today. So I grabbed my keys and headed to the local garden centre. As I walked through the aisles, I could feel the excitement bubbling up inside me. I was on a mission. I picked up a few packets of seeds, rainbow tomato seeds of course, and some potting soil. I even splurged on a cute little watering can that had a cheerful sunflower design. I mean, if I was going to embark on this gardening adventure, I might as well do it in style, right? When I got home, I cleared a little space on my balcony. It's not much, a tiny little nook that barely gets enough sunlight for my current plants. But I was determined. I set up my pots, filled them with soil, and carefully planted the seeds, imagining the glorious rainbow of tomatoes that would soon sprout. I could almost taste the fresh salsa I would make, the vibrant salads I would whip up, and the bragging rights I would have over my friends. Oh, you're growing regular tomatoes. How quaint. I'm growing rainbow tomatoes, darling. I watered them gently, whispering sweet nothings to my little seeds. And then I waited, and waited, and waited some more. Days turned into weeks, and I found myself checking on them obsessively. I would stand there, staring at the dirt, willing those little green sprouts to emerge. I even started talking to them, like some kind of crazy plant lady. Come on, little guys, you can do it. Just a little push, and you'll be the most beautiful tomatoes the world has ever seen. Finally, one morning, I spotted the first tiny green shoot breaking through the soil. I nearly squealed with delight. It was like witnessing a miracle. I rushed inside to grab my phone and document the moment for posterity. Look, everyone, my rainbow tomatoes are coming to life. I posted it on social media, and the likes started pouring in. Friends were cheering me on, and I felt like a gardening superstar. As the weeks went by, my little plants grew taller and stronger. I was practically bursting with pride. I watered them diligently, talked to them like they were my best friends, and even played classical music for them, convinced that it would help them grow. I mean, who wouldn't want to be serenaded by Mozart while they're trying to sprout? But then, just as I was starting to feel like a gardening pro, disaster struck. One morning, I woke up to find that something had been nibbling on my precious plants. I was horrified. I rushed outside, and there they were, tiny little bites taken out of the leaves, like someone had been having a midnight snack in my garden. I was furious. Who would dare to mess with my rainbow tomatoes? I felt like a protective parent, ready to defend my little ones at all costs. After some frantic research, I discovered that it was likely slugs or snails. Ugh, the audacity. I couldn't believe it. So I set out to wage war. I sprinkled diatomaceous earth around the base of my plants, set up beer traps, and even started collecting them in a jar to relocate them far, far away. I was relentless. I was not going to let these slimy intruders ruin my rainbow tomato dreams. Slowly but surely my plants began to recover. New leaves sprouted, and I could see the promise of tomatoes forming. I was on cloud 9. I could practically taste the victory. I imagined myself hosting a garden party, showcasing my rainbow tomatoes and impressing everyone with my newfound gardening prowess. Oh, you think you can just buy tomatoes at the store? Please, I grow my own rainbow tomatoes. And then, the day finally came. I spotted the first hint of color on one of the tomatoes. It was a beautiful blend of reds, yellows and greens, and I felt a rush of excitement. I could hardly contain myself. I rushed inside to grab a knife and a plate, ready to slice into my masterpiece. I was practically dancing around the kitchen, giddy with anticipation. As I cut into that first tomato, the juices flowed, and I couldn't help but marvel at the vibrant colors. I took a bite, and oh my goodness, it was like a burst of sunshine in my mouth. The flavors were incredible, sweet, tangy, and utterly delicious. I felt like I had unlocked some secret treasure. I couldn't believe I had grown this. I snapped a picture and posted it online, captioning it, "Rainbow tomatoes, the best garden hack ever." The likes and comments flooded in, and I felt like a gardening celebrity. Friends were asking for tips, and I was more than happy to share my newfound wisdom. It's all about love and patience, my friends. And just like that, my little balcony garden transformed me. I went from a casual plant owner to a full-fledged gardening enthusiast, all thanks to those rainbow tomatoes. I learned about companion planting, organic pest control, and even started experimenting with different recipes. I was hooked. So, if you ever find yourself in a gardening rut, just remember, rainbow tomatoes in Berkeley might be the trend, but you can bring that magic to your own backyard. All it takes is a little love, a sprinkle of patience, and maybe a few battles with slugs. Who knows? You might just discover the best garden hack ever, and it might just change your life.